Hey guys, Pride here. I have a deck profile for you guys. I got my Dinomorphias. I actually came first place in my locals just the other day with this deck. Anyway, for this video, I'm not only going to show you my main and extra, but for once I'm going to show you the side. And my cat just came by to say hi. Hey Marco, I'm recording right now. Go play somewhere else. Go play. Thank you. Anyway. First up, we got the main monster you want to actually see in your hand. Sorry, Diplos. But this one is called Dinomorphia Theresia. When summoned, it allows you to take any Dinomorphia trap from your deck and place it face down the field. But sadly, you cannot use it that turn. Next, if your life points happen to be 2,000 or less when you activate that effect, it gains 500. And if it's destroyed, you can banish any trap card from your graveyard. Special summon a different Dinomorphia monster that's all 4 below with a different name. Next up, we have the only target for that effect. 3 Dinomorphia Diplos. When this card is summoned, it's basically a foolish barrel for any Dinomorphia card in your deck, and then inflicts 500 points of damage to your opponent if your life points happen to be 2,000 or less. And finally, when it's destroyed, again, just as Theresia, you banish a trap from your graveyard, special summon a different Dinomorphia monster from your grave. And now, I'm actually running a hand trap in this. 3 D-Shifter. This card is basically breaking its back right now trying to carry anyone who doesn't play tier elements. I swear. When that card is discarded, you basically after that, any card sent to graveyard till your end of your opponent's next turn is banished instead. Next up, the spells haven't changed much. 3 Pod Duality and 2 Prosperity. Simple. Next up, for the traps, we have 1 of the fusion traps, 3 Dinomorphia Frenzy. When this card is used, you pay half your life points, just as every Dinomorphia trap forces you to. And you can fusion summon using 1 monster from your main and 1 monster from your extra deck. And all Dinomorphia normal traps have the effect when they're in the graveyard and your life points are 2,000 or less, you get to banish them from the grave. And basically you take no effect damage that turn. And thankfully the normal traps take up the majority of the Dinomorphia cards we use. Next up we have the other fusion trap, 3 Dinomorphia Domain. This card lets you fusion summon using monsters from your hand, field, or main deck. Hey Mirko. My cat likes to play. I like you. Next up, we have the monster born for the deck. 2 Dinomorphia Alerts. When activated, you can special summon up to 2 Dinomorphia monsters from your graveyard, so long as their combined level equals 8 or less. Unfortunately, they cannot attack that turn. And you're also stuck using Dinomorphia monsters from your extra deck for the rest of that turn as well. Next, we have non-targeting destruction. 2 Dinomorphia Brutes. This, like I said, this card is a non-targeting destruction card by destroying 1 card on your opponent's field and 1 Dinomorphia monster you control. Next up, we run 2 Dinomorphia Sonics. Now this card is just spell and trap negate, but afterwards it also destroys 1 of your Dinomorphia monsters. Of course, being it's a Dinomorphia counter trap, it has a bonus effect. If your life points happen to be 2,000 or less and this card is in your graveyard, and your opponent attacks, you can remove it from the game and reduce that battle damage from that 1 attack to 0. Next up, we got Dinomorphia Reversion. Dinomorphia Reversion, I know like hardly anyone's seen this card, but its effect is really awesome. Once activated, the condition is you have to have a Dinomorphia Fusion out. But once activated, you can banish any trap card, I repeat, and actually any counter trap, to be exact, and copy its effect over. So say if this card's activated and you have a Solemn Judgment or Strike in the graveyard, you can activate this card, banish that, and it copies that card's effect. Speaking of which, 3 Solemn Strike, 3 Solemn Judgment, 3 Infinite Impermanence, 2 Mistake, which actually does come in handy because it prevents both players from adding cards from deck to hand aside from drawing them. And finally, for the final trap card, 2 Ferret Flames. If you don't play this card in your Dinomorphia build, what the hell are you doing? Come on. Basically an easy way to clear out the board. Alright, that's it for the main deck. 40 card main deck. Next up, I run 3 Dinomorphia Rexterm. This card is a major powerhouse in the deck. It's basically our boss monster. With this card out, any monster your opponent has out and will have out, if their attack points exceed or equal your life points, they cannot activate their effects. And it has another ability where you can pay half. Every monster your opponent currently controls until the end phase become equal to your life points. And for its final effect, if it's destroyed, you can special summon a level 6 or lower Dinomorphia monster from your graveyard. And unlike the main deck cards, you don't have to banish a trap for him. Same goes for all the other fusions. Next up, we got 3 Dinomorphia Ketragena. This card's attack varies depending on your life points. Your life points are basically subtracted from it. So the lower your life points get, the higher her attack points will soar. And her effect is, you can banish any Dinomorphia normal trap card from your graveyard and copy its effect over. And if this card is destroyed, lets you special summon a level 4 or lower Dinomorphia monster from your graveyard back to the field. And for the final fusion, Dinomorphia Stealthburgia. This card has came in handy so many times, I'm not going to lie to you. With this card out, if your life points are 2,000 or less, you no longer have to pay life points to activate any trap card or Dinomorphia effect. So you say you had 100 life, you can still play Solemn Strike. Come on. Next up, it has another ability where if your opponent activates a monster effect, now this does not negate it, but it's still pretty cool. Stealthburgia will inflict damage to your opponent equal to their monster's attack points. And for its final effect, if it's destroyed, special summon Dinomorphia at level 4 below from your graveyard. Keep in mind, both of these are level 6. That's where Rexterm's ability comes in. And now for some Xyz. We got an Omni Negate, Evolzor Lagia, and a Monster Negate, Evolzor Doka. Next up, we got some fodder. The next 2 cards are basically fodder for Paw of Prosperity. Castell and Tornado Dragon. And a spicy tech card I absolutely love to use every now and then. Number 39 and S39. Basically, you just summon number 39 and then overlay this on top. And then by detaching 3 materials from this card, it not only destroys but banishes every special summon monster your opponent has. But in order to activate this effect, there has to be at least a 3,000 point difference in your life points between you and your opponent. But once activated, not only does it destroy and banish every special summon monster they have out, and inflicts 300 points of damage for each one. And finally, by doing this, it will bring your life points all the way down to 10. That's it, just 1, 0, 10. And imagine how broken that is with this card. Come on. Alright, that's it for the extra deck. And now for the side deck. First up, I run a small Scythe package. 2 Artifact Sanctums and Artifact Scythe. 2 Goes in Match. 2 Summon Limit. 3 Forbidden Graveyards. 2 Anti-Spell. And finally, another hand trap. 3 Droll and Lockbirds. I cannot tell you how many times I've activated this. My opponent ends their turn, I draw into Mistake, and boom. They're screwed. Anyway, that was the deck profile, and a buddy of mine from my locals built a Castir deck, which I also plan on doing a deck profile for. Granted, we have not gotten the new support yet, so I was thinking of doing a current version and then a more updated version once he gets those cards. Because it's pretty obvious he's going to get the cards. Anyway, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Later!